I'm at the lathe and I've got the beginnings of a tap. This is a 14mm double start threaded bolt. The shaft is cut down to 1/2 inch to fit in the Jacob's chuck. This is 14mm here, and this is a double start thread. A friend of mine, with his double start tap and die, I had him make me this out of cold rolled steel, which is softer than the HSS steel. At least I think that's how it goes. And then out of aluminum, he made me this little billet here. This is a Chapman special, 14mm. This fits inside here. See how that goes? So that's the beginnings of a tap and die. To have one of these made as a one-off, it's over $400 for a set, just for these two pieces. So being that I'm only using this for pin turning, for segmenting, to get the pins, the joints to line up correctly, and at the end of this video I'll show you how that works when I do a pin using this. So there's a couple things we need to do. One is I need to drill out these little reliefs in here so I can get the threads out. Now where the lines are, that's where the threads start, and the dots is where I need to drill the holes. So I'll do that part after this. So with the tap, you can kind of see a line there, and then 180 degrees out, there's another line right there. If you look on the X, so on this side, this is where the threads start on each end, and I'm going to cut the groove opposite of those threads. Now I don't have a milling machine, so like you've probably seen on other YouTube videos, and I've done it in the past, I'm just going to use my Dremel. Being that this is soft steel, it should make quick work of cutting that groove straight across. Now being that the thread direction is coming this way, so I'm going to introduce this on an angle, downward angle. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to introduce this on a sharp angle so I can have a raked cut going down in on the tap. So we'll start that as soon as I find where I put my safety glasses. Okay, now that I got my safety glasses on, I'll go ahead and start that cut. I just need a straight line. And I'm only going to go about half the way, so I want the full thread to clean everything out on the back side. So on the back, that looks pretty good. That's just about right across from each other. And then we'll go ahead and start on the next piece. In the 4-jaw chuck, I've got a piece of lignium vitae, and I've got this sized to the outside diameter of the threads, so that when I use this die, now this is just going to be a total friction cut, and I've got a little bit of a chamfer on the end, and I'm using a sliding die holder. Let me get that started here. Okay, so there it is right there. That's threaded. That's a little tight, so now I just need to re-advance that into the piece, and then I'm going to take a saw and cut that off. And then once I get that done, I can drill and cut it without the blade drifting on me. Okay, so there's the piece. Actually, I got a real good flush cut against there. Now I just got to knock that out, so I'm just going to use my little piece here. So that's coming out. I've got a chamfer on the front side, so that's going to be the side that I'm going to introduce the parts to. So I want to cut from the back where it's nice and flush. So again, I'm going to measure and mark where I need to drill my holes, and then I'm just going to do that at the drill press. Okay, so I'm at the drill press, and my generic marks that I have right there, they are not where I need them to be. So I'm using my generic stick, straight edge. I'm sighting down the length of the barrel, and I just want that to barely be inside the threads, inside that hole. So when I go down there, I'll know where I'm at. So and then I got a little bit of a dimple right there, right next to it. Okay, so hold my breath and drill this out and see how it goes. A little bit of walking on me, but not very much. Okay, so there's the holes drilled out, and I cut the tap, that wooden plug out. I used a coping saw. I cut it in 2 pieces, and then just a little pressure just flicked it out. No big deal. That's the back side. So that looks pretty good. The holes are a little bit wider than what I wanted, but it'll still work great. There won't be any issues with it. So while I was off, I put a groove on the top so that I can put it inside my die holder, and then I won't have to worry about it moving on me. Okay, on the lathe I have a piece of acrylic or alumilite in here, and I've turned it down a little bit and already tried it out, and you can see I got it mounted up here in my sliding die holder. So I turned the outside of this to the diameter of this shaft, the exterior threads. So to make it easy, that's just under 14 millimeters. And I'm just going to put a little lube on here, some mineral oil. Slide that forward. Remember, this is a double thread. So a double lead, double thread. So it starts twice, so it travels twice as fast, not like a traditional single thread. Now it's cutting. What's good about these sliding dovetail or sliding die holders is you can turn twice as fast because you can move both pieces, not just one or the other. Okay, so I have a 1/2 inch hole in this block of alumilite, and I put some lube on there already. Make sure that's locked down. Back that up. You can see it pull that in straight away, no problem. Okay. So let's test that out. This is the piece we cut earlier with the die. I'm pulling on that, that's pretty tight. No slop at all. So that's pretty darn good.